Hello, good evening. There you go. That's singing for the night, guys. All right, I will wait for the screen to go and let's see what we got coming up here. There goes the screen, and there is me. And Jacob says 5 by 5, and the world is good. And welcome everybody to Tuesday night. Uh, so it's only Tuesday, guys. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody is somewhere cool and not roasting your cojones off right now because it's hot everywhere, as y'all saw what I talked about this afternoon. Uh, so, interesting day, huh? Like I said, it's only Tuesday, and the craziness that goes on in the world is just keep on getting crazier. Uh, Anybody hear about Southwest Airlines grounding the entire fleet today for some sort of computer glitch? God. No word on why as of yet, whether it was a hack or just a problem, but interesting that, gee, just another major company, transportation this time. Now we have them down. I guess they got back up around 4 o'clock. So, that was good. But, I'm just thinking, because when I fly, usually I fly Southwest as well. And, you're flying to secondary airports and everything like that. It's like, there's not a whole lot of other planes to pick up that go into those secondary airports. Flying to Dallas, you're not going to DFW, you're going to Love Field. You fly into Chicago, you're not going to O'Hare, you're going to Midway. It's where you have maybe a rental car, where your hotel is, not talking about convenience. So that was kind of interesting. Then, of course, the other one that came out shortly before we went on, anybody notice that we have tensions going up in the Middle East again? Israel has air raids going on over the Gaza Strip because Palestinians and Hamas have been sending these incendiary balloons over Israel again. So we got all that crap to watch again. But I gotta say, the one person who probably had the worst day of anybody today was your friend and mine, good old Mark Zuckerberg. Okay. Not only did we start out with Zuckerberg getting, for all intents and purposes, subpoenaed by the House to surrender all correspondence between him and Dr. Fakey, because I guess there was a little bit of side stuff going on there where Facebook was going to only allow the conversations that Fakey was putting up, or the information that Fakey was putting out, and not allowing anything else. We all know how bad the censorship is on Facebook, let alone anywhere else. But so Zuck, has now got another trip planned to Washington where he's going to have to go talk to Congress again. But the funniest one for Zuck, and I cannot believe that he actually tried this. And some of you guys would know that most everybody should know this song. Okay, Pink Floyd's "Another Brick in the Wall." Zuckerberg got a hold of Roger Waters, who obviously lead of Pink Floyd, and wanted to use "Another Brick in the Wall" for an advertisement for Facebook and for Instagram. Now, if you know the song, and probably like most of, like me, most of you guys have listened to it 1,000 times in your life, the song is absolutely against censorship, thought control, and that's what the whole song is about. It's like, get out of my head, okay? So Roger Waters comes up and basically, I'll try to keep this somewhat clean, but told the little prick Zuckerberg to F off, okay, in a public videotaped interview, okay? It was just like, all right. And, you got to think about it. Most musicians, actors, anybody. Most of them are pretty liberal. Okay, take a look at Green Day, for example. I mean, these guys are so far off the left edge, it's unbelievable. That's probably why they don't exist as a band anymore, because once that came out, pretty much nobody wanted to listen to them. Politics and entertainment do not belong together. But I love the fact that Roger Waters basically told him to go fly a kite, and that was it. No, you're not going to use our song that is against, that was about everything we stand for, everything that is against what you stand for. No, you're not going to use it. So that was kind of funny there. So, and then of course the last one is we are expected soon to hear something on Arizona and all the audit information. So waiting for that. That might come out overnight. Don't know when it's going to come out. My guess is probably on Friday, when it gets buried, but we'll see what happens, and, the interesting part is you have all the other states there on the ground, New Hampshire, Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina. You've got the representatives from the states watching to see exactly what Arizona did, because my bet is when all this stuff comes down from Arizona and they talk about the fraud, we'll use the word, it's going to open up a can of worms, and you're going to see a whole lot of this go on everywhere else. So I have no idea what's going to happen after that. It's not like they're just going to go, oh, gee, we'll reinsert 45. But I don't know. I mean, is a special election possible? Don't know. I mean, we've never had this situation happen before, and God knows I'm not the constitutional scholar to tell you how this is going to play out. But just very interesting to see what happens there. So those are kind of the topics that I thought might be of interest to talk about tonight. But of course, this is all about you guys. So wanted to go through. Hello to all my moderators. I know Jacob's here. North Shore's in here. I saw Patriot Sandwich Makers in here. So the big three executioners are here to keep the riffraff out. And, we're still getting our little bit of riffraff, and I still kick them out, every day or so. So we'll get all that. But yes, if you're new here, we keep this place PG-13. If you want to be a troll, you'll last in here about 30 seconds, because the moderators all know very well there is no second chances. There's no 300-second timeout. You're just gone. Okay, so if you want to spend time talking with everybody else, maybe learn something from me, maybe learn something from all of them, maybe get a question answered, you can be polite. If you don't want to do that, then you can go to a Kardashian channel, because, if you want to, play with the trash, that would be a good place to go. So, all right. As per normal, guys, questions all in caps if they're directed to me. If you guys are having conversations between yourself and they're lowercase, that's awesome. That way I can see what's going on. As per normal, I start from the top, go down, try to answer as many. Usually I get to all or almost all of them, unless you get caught in the middle somewhere. If I haven't answered your question within about 10 minutes after you've posted it, please put it up again. If I see it a second time, obviously I'm not going to answer it a second time. I'll skip it, okay? So no worries there. But I try to get to every one of them just as time flies. The other thing I will say before we get started, just in case y'all don't know, I had told you back months ago when we had our little 10,000 subscriber party, we were going to have our little 25,000 subscriber party. Well, as of right now, we're at 24,922. So 78 more people decide to join the family, and we will have our little let's make a deal party again. So rate we're going, it could happen this Saturday. If not, it'll probably be next Tuesday. Just keep an eye on the videos, because I will put the video up for everybody to enter on, just like I did last time. That will be the only place to enter. So you will have to go in there and watch the video and follow the instructions. I am going to change it up just a hair this time, just to make it a little bit more interesting and see what happens. But we're close, guys. So it's probably within the next week we will be doing that. So time to get the shirt and tie out again, I guess, and play Monty Hall or Bob Barker, or whoever the hell you think I am. So, all right. So let's go to the top. Let's start and see what we got. And I'm going to see where we are. So I'm looking for caps, and we'll go from there. And actually got pretty close to the top because I see 5x5s. Mama Preps Force has made it. High Pinball and everyone from Scorching, Montana, which I find hilarious. You guys had snow a month ago, and now it's 100. Yeah, okay. It's just, I find it just utterly ridiculous when it's hotter in Montana than it is in Florida. Somebody explain that one to me. Okay. But yeah, so welcome. Let's see. What else we got? Jamie Lee says hi from Bedford, Indiana. And let's see. Angie Parton says sent me an email earlier. I've read all the emails except, well, no, I got one here 2 minutes ago, so I have not read that one, but I've caught up with all emails that you guys gave me. So let's see. Kevin Gaston Senior, sit rep showing unusual high amount of fighter jets and refuelers up today. Somebody made a comment, sent me an email, I think it was this morning, about a lot of planes going overhead in Indiana. I don't know what's going on. I did not find anything of anything that's of interest. Now, you got to remember too, it's summertime. And you get your reservists and your National Guard. This is the time they're doing their 2 weeks annual training. So you're going to have more military activity during the summer because you've got the reservists and the National Guard doing their 2 weeks. So there's a lot more people on active duty, if you will, at the time. And most cities have an Air National Guard around. So that could be it. I'm speculating here, but that's just something that people always kind of forget, is that in summertime there is more military traffic because there is more people to be trained at the time. Robert Winslow says, no one hit thumbs down at risk of, well, somebody already did. So we've already either got a troll or a liberal in here. So that would be that point. Or somebody who actually agrees with Kate Brown, but, I figure they won't last long. Let's see. Billy the cab driver says, good evening. Good evening back. I saw your comments today. It was kind of interesting. Simple preparedness. Other than you, what are some good places to get reliable news? I get it from all over the place. Usually I'll start out with Zero Hedge, and that will give me ideas for other places to go. But I hit a lot of the European, skynews.au.com, Australian news, and get it out of there. I get Greek news. I do read Al Jazeera. So what I'm looking for more than anything else is a lot of the international news sites, because I have no faith in anything in the U.S. news sites. I mean, they are all completely in the bag for, Biden and Pelosi and Schumer. So, hell, half the stuff I tell you about doesn't even hit the U.S. news, and I wind up finding this in other places. So, don't worry. There isn't any. I used to watch Fox. Fox has turned into almost entertainment at this point. You go on Fox right now, and they're not talking about much of anything other. You can go find the latest stuff on Kim Kardashian or what's her name, the Britney Spears or something. Those are the news stories that Fox is talking about right now. Yeah, there'll be a couple of little politics things, but usually it's a lot of fluff. I will listen to Tucker Carlson. That's about the only decent place to get news domestically. I've given up on OANN, The Blaze, anything like that. It's just, they're not that they're all left-leaning at this point, but everything they're putting in there is fluff. There's no real news. I've tried, Miss Teese has tried Newsmax. I've tried that. It's a lot of fluff. I need the hard stories. I don't have time to be sifting through 30 entertainment stories and the story about some guy who saved a dog that, jumped into a pond. I need to see what the interesting prepper related stories are, economically, politically, militarily, COVID wise. I need to see those. I don't need all the other fluff. So that's kind of why I look at a lot of the international stuff. Let's see. Montana Grizz fan is in hello from the free state of Montana, the free hot state. Let's see. Kelly O'Connell, greetings from Chicago. Anyone hear Larry Lightfoot's latest? Lori Lightfoot expects an influx of federal agents to help the city fight violence, but we do not welcome dictatorship. Gee, okay. So are you, Lori, are you saying there that your administration and the previous one and the previous one and the previous one, which are all Democrat by chance, have completely failed? Because I'll say that. And you don't welcome a dictatorship? Really? Have you looked in the mirror lately, lady? Okay. Because, besides the point of looking like Beetlejuice, you are trying to be a dictator in Chicago, just like one before you and before you and before you. I mean, we can go all the way back to Harold Washington and Jane Byrne and, Richard Daley. And I mean, pick one, it's like, the corrupt criminal cartel of Chicago. The only group that's more criminal than you guys is the Clinton cartel. So, but, God knows, I bet there's enough bodies that, are missing because of City Hall in Chicago, just like all the ones missing because of, Hillary and Slick Willie. Okay, let's see. Montana Grizz fan. A month ago we had snow on the ground today, and a month ago we had snow on the ground, and today it was 109. I was talking about that at the top. Yeah, it's like spring. It's like, when did you plant your garden? It's like, okay, great, you got it in the ground. Now it's 109. Everything fried. Dennis Wyckoff, can a correlation be made between a super low 2.2 inflation and PPI of 6.6? Yes. Okay. And here's the deal. The numbers are all faked. And when they're talking about, again, you got to understand how they calculate inflation. I was telling somebody else this who emailed me yesterday or today. If the U.S. government calculated inflation the same way that we did in 1980 when Jimmy Carter was still president, just before Reagan did, the current inflation rate would be 13%. Okay. So when you're talking about inflation rate and a producer price index, okay, then you got to look at the CPI. If we're talking about accurate here, okay, accurate inflation number right now would be 13%. If PPI is 6%, that tells you the middleman is taking a cut. And I've said this before, because there's so many hands in there and so many different things. Truckers are paying more for gas. The freight companies are having a hard time finding drivers, whatever it would be. So if you've got 3 loads to go, but you've only got 2 drivers, the highest bidder gets the load. And so whoever's the lowest bidder doesn't get their load moved. Well, those costs all get passed on to us. And you got to remember, inflation, all it is a hidden tax, okay? Because, no matter what happens, the ones who wind up, they can talk about taxing the rich, the 1%, 39% or whatever. Well, the 1%ers are, for the most part, your business owners, things like that. Well, what do? In order to pay those taxes, or CEOs or whatever, they raise the price of all their product, and it all trickles down to the consumer. The consumer is the one that pays all the tax, guys. It's, if something costs $1 and potato raises the corporate income tax up to 28% or whatever it is, from 21. Well, what do you think that they can do? If you just had a 33% hike in taxes, all the company's going to do is take that dollar product and they're going to make it $1.33, so they still make the same amount of money, but you pay less. I mean, that's all it is. So, you got to look at this. I mean, yeah, there's a definite correlation between the two of them, but you have to use the accurate numbers, not the made up ones that, Washington comes up with. I mean, how the hell can you calculate inflation realistically without putting food and energy in there? Because the two things that everybody needs are food and energy, gas, electric, whatever it would be. Okay, try to take both of those out of your life and see how long, you're going to live. So, all right, somebody just was it. Sissy, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Let's see if I can figure out my way back to it here. Okay, there we go. Okay. South Colorado Stetter. I just did a 90-day forecast. My weather is going to cool off a tad, and this will be the hottest days. Okay, well, that's good, but, I'm hoping, but you guys, y'all out there, you need some rain. You need some water. And, the other problem that you get is we're past planting season for a lot of crops now. It's not like you can go back in the 1st of July and start trying to plant a lot of your vegetable crops. They won't mature. You won't have a harvest before it's cold again. So, there's just because it's going to cool down now. I saw earlier somebody said they lost 100 tomato plants and 75 pepper plants due to this. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. I mean, even here it rained the whole time we were on vacation. And then it poured rain, vacation, business trip. But the whole time we were gone, it rained. And so we came back and everything was wet. And then it's been so freaking hot. And for us, it's not, but it's been dry too. Mrs. P and I got out and had a water this afternoon because even though we got all that rain, the ground looked parched, and I'm thinking we've had some rain. You guys are going on what, 60 days, 90 days with no rain? I'm betting a lot of the fields look like hay fields, corn, soybeans, whatever it is, they're usually green. I'm betting you're seeing a lot of yellow. Billy the cab driver, do I like Mark Levin? Yes, Mark Levin is a genius. Listening to some of the stuff he talks about, I catch him every once in a while. It's like I think he does his show on Fox on Saturday night or Sunday night or whatever it is. And if it's Saturday night, I'm here talking to you guys. And if it's Sunday, I'm probably in bed. But when I catch Mark Levin, he'll do his talks with Hannity or whatever and stuff like that. Yeah, Mark Levin knows what he's talking about. Robert Winslow, how many veterans are here tonight? At least one, and probably a bunch more, because I know a lot of you guys serve too, and I say thank you to every one of you. You're all my brothers and sisters. North Shore, I'm seeing 50% inflation here on food. Yeah, somebody else from Canada sent me, what did they say? They went and bought a couple of tenderloins and a couple of roasts, and it cost them like $140 in meat. And then what was it, a rib roast or something like that? 3-pound roast was $70. Like, who in the hell's paying that? But understand why. The powers that be are making beef as hard as possible for people to afford to wean us off beef. This is the idea, the cow farts, let's make beef so expensive that the public won't be able to buy it, but they're still going to crave their hamburger, so they'll eat their Beyond Meat burger or their Bug burger. That's what's going on, guys. So, the best I can tell you here is, find where you can buy a quarter cow or a half a cow. I was talking to my neighbors, and we go in on a cow once a year. So I'm going to get a half a cow here in the fall at $3 a pound. Okay, now that's $3 a pound for my ground beef. That's $3 a pound for my roasts, for my brisket, for my steaks, whatever it is. Hell, I'll bet most of you guys can't find ground beef for $3 a pound, let alone all the other cuts. So, get a freezer, get a cow, cut out the middleman, and again, like we were just talking about CPI, cut out the middleman, get the cow, get it butchered, and boom, throw it in the freezer. And I'll tell you what, the beef is a hell of a lot better than stuff you buy in a store anyway. We all remember the stories from a few years ago about pink slime, the stuff that's in your ground beef. You're not getting that when you get your cow from the source. So, go that way. But you got to get on the list early because it's, usually the processors, that'll process, the cattle like that are about, 9 months to a year behind. So if you're looking at getting one for next summer, now is the time to get your name on the list. And definitely, you're definitely going to save a ton of money. Okay. Let's see. Leroy Engel, CW3, Mr. Chief. Okay, thank you. What? Am I? Okay, there we go. Now we're talking my language. Let's see. Slit Baby, do you agree all of our systems are corrupt beyond any fixing? No. Okay. I think they are. It's going to take effort to fix them. And Trump was doing a good job. Okay. That's why they cheated his way out of office, because he was taking down the criminal cartel that is our political class. Now, yes, I voted for Trump. Yes, I was a Trump supporter. Do I agree with everything he did? Absolutely not. Okay. I think he's making an absolute stupid move now to even push the vax, because he had plausible deniability, if you will, throughout, the end of the year, trying to get it out. I mean, he was doing the best he could, but once it came out that now we're seeing, 5,000 plus people just in the United States who have died as a direct cause of the vaccine, let alone the hundreds of thousands who have had side effects. The fact that he's still pushing this is a colossal mistake. Okay. I think he's lost a lot of support from a lot of people, including me, because he's still pushing this poison. So, but I don't think that the systems are beyond any fixing, because I think you have people that are showing that it can be fixed. Ron DeSantis, Kristi Noem, Greg Abbott, for whatever for all his little goofy stuff. Yeah, he's still doing a pretty good job in Texas. Nobody's going to be 100%. Nobody's going to walk on water, and none of them are up to be the next Jesus Christ. Okay, but those are guys that are making good decisions, and they're showing true leadership, taking the country in a right direction. And my guess is they'll probably all throw their hat in 2024. I still have my picks who I'd like to see run on the top of the ticket in 2024, and none of them are on the top of the ticket. Let's see. Kevin Gaston just read on Fox that Israel attacked Gaza again. Yeah, I talked about that at the beginning. Jamie R., I get my coffee creamer at Walmart. The price went up 60 cents in 1 week. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, that's probably about a 15% jump. Because if I'm not mistaken, coffee creamers, the ones that Mrs. P gets, because I'm military, black coffee. I think it's about $4 a bottle or whatever. Overwatch, what do I think about Planet 9? BS, but fills in some gaps. I have no idea what it is, so I couldn't even guess. Charlie Lobb, Tucker Carlson tonight, government documents show FBI involved and participated in January 6th. Oh, I have no doubt. Okay. That was such a setup, because everything was, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, it's telegraphed as what was, this is what we're going to do. This is when I'm going to speak. This is what you're going to do afterwards. Yada, yada, yada. I mean, it's like, tell the enemy your invasion plans. Okay. Now the enemy can just do whatever they want. Not that this was an invasion, but now BLM, Antifa, whatever it is. I mean, how many of them did we see BLM or Antifa guys put on? I mean, there are countless videos of this, putting on MAGA gear or a MAGA hat and going in and causing trouble and saying, and pretending, to be, a Trump supporter so they could bring bad press to the Trump supporters. I mean, the media was involved in setting stuff up like that, where, oh, you're actually Antifa, here's a MAGA hat, go out and do this and we'll cover it that way. Okay. I mean, there's videos out there where that's happened. So, no, you're not going to tell me at all that, FBI or the left was not involved. They were probably the ones, for the most part, that did all the insurrection, if you will, caused most of the damage, and and blame it on Trump. That would be it. That's exactly what's going on. I've said it a million times. It's deflection. All they try to do, they know they're crooked as a pretzel, but they try to take anything that they do and blame it on conservatives, Republicans, libertarians, whatever you want to do, because the sheep are so stupid they'll buy it. And then they're like, oh, but look at us. We're the progressives. All we're here to do is help you. Right. As they're robbing you blind, Okay. And I got to go back to the top here. So let's see where we are. Okay. Treasures in Kentucky says Gordon Food Service has 10-ounce packages of ribeyes for $6 through Saturday. $9.60. Yeah, okay, a pound. Kroger today is 15. Yeah. Well, as opposed to if you buy a half a cow, I'm still getting it for a third of that. Cheryl Hood sending howdies from Fort Worth. Splash today at Splash Pad with the grandbabies. Too hot for much else. Yep, and there you go. That's kind of what I talked about this afternoon was finding a way to cool off. That's going to be important, especially if power goes out again. And last time I said that, the power went out here, so let's hope it doesn't go out again. Okay. Jamie R. waiting for the heat to go down a bit to go water the garden. Have to water every day. Yeah, that's pretty much. If it stays like this, we're going to have to too, because we're supposed to be in the 90s here tomorrow or Thursday, I think. Soul Prep's now holding the line. I'm disappointed I forgot to plant beets. Our beets are actually looking really good this year. I'm very happy. They're probably baseball size right now because last year our beets didn't do shit. And this year Mrs. P gets to make borscht with fresh beets, and I'm excited. Rachel Sue, hey, Tennessee, send the rain to Utah, please. Well, we got it a week ago because it ain't rained all week, which actually means I'm getting the smokehouse done. But no, we're not getting any, and we don't have any. I think the next time we have a chance of rain is Saturday. Yarn Prepper, all 7 rain barrels empty in Wisconsin. Oh my God. Yeah. Small family, small budget. What books do you recommend to be in your prepping library? Anything on gardening, anything on medicine, anything on home repair. That's a big one. On let's say how to fix plumbing. My daughter calling. How to fix plumbing, how to fix a door or whatever it is. Those are going to be very important ones. Auto repair books, whatever car you got, get the book on how to repair the book or how to repair the car. Small engine repair, most of what you're going to get, the books that you need are how to, and go through your house and figure out, okay, what do I use? All right, how to fix my car, how to fix my chainsaw. Like I said, plumbing or something like that. Those are all the things that you're going to want to get. I mentioned like Jerry Baker's book on home remedies for, garden, home fertilizers and things like that. Those are the types of books that you need. Yes, I say, read 1 second after, and a bunch of you guys have mentioned other books to read, 1984 or, whatever you want to read. That's for entertainment. I mean, the books that you need to have are, how-to books, ball canning books. Those are going to be important. The other thing I've said too is, download YouTube videos that are the how-to ones. Okay. A lot of the videos on how to can something, download the video, save it to your computer. Because just because the internet goes out, I'm going to sneeze. just because the internet goes out doesn't mean your computer is going to be toast. So, if you can download those videos and save them, to your computer, you can always go back and watch those videos on your computer on how to do something. No different than, saving movies or whatever to a flash drive or whatever, so you had some entertainment to watch. Save some of your YouTube videos. Moldy Soldier finally caught a show live. Hello, everyone. Hello, Moldy Soldier. Let's see. All the veterans chiming in here. There we go. The corn in Iowa, Jamie R., the corn in Iowa is turning brown and curling up. No knee-high corn by the 4th of July. My corn might get knee-high. My knees are higher than most people's, but I should be there. It was actually looking pretty good today, and that's one of the things we were out watering. Gray Ghost. Parents are trying to fly Southwest. All flights for tomorrow are canceled as well. Problem not resolved yet. I had heard it was resolved at 4 o'clock, but they've got planes are all out of place now. So, they've got to get all this backlog from what was happened today. That's going to probably take some time too. Three Corners hat. What brand of generator do I have? Honestly, I don't. You want me to go look? I'll go look. I bought it at Tractor Supply. I'll go look. Everything's fine. Somebody asked a question. I'm going to go answer it. Okay. I am back. It is a Champion. That's the brand of the generator. Yep. And Hillbilly Homesteader got it right. Yep. Champion. Let's see. Roots, Rocks, and Feathers bought a case of ground beef, 28-ounce cans from Keystone. No one around here has it in the store, and it's insanely expensive. Yeah, I mean, lately I've seen a lot of stories on Keystone beef. Apparently, it's like everybody's made a run on this stuff. So, trying to get beef is going to get tough. 3AD Scout, I'm assuming that's Armor Division. Pinball, I'm with the wife and kids in a Pigeon Forge area on vacation. Any suggestion for something to do in this area? Already hit the Lodge Store and Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You are about 2 hours south of me, and the only time I've been down there was in Sevierville, and that was when we just came up here to look for a house. So actually, I've never been to Pigeon Forge. I've never been to Dollywood, anything like that. Never been to Gatlinburg. I've only lived here for 2 years, and kind of homebodies. So sorry, I can't help on that one. Montana Grizz fan. I've noticed a lot of Canadians are driving to Montana and buying meat and other products at Costco in Montana and sneaking it back over the border. I'm surprised they can get over the border, smuggling meat. There you go. Debbie Sparta. Some people eat cicada tacos prepared by a chef. Sorry. No, I ain't eating bugs. Okay. Rooster Cogburn, buy a mini beef cow, 600 pounds. Yeah, exactly. Cindy Bratt, 561, just now reading 28 Chinese military planes in Taiwanese airspace today. Okay, I hadn't heard that. Scarlet Brimstone, if I can get a quarter cow, if I can't get a quarter cow, I'll just go hunting. Hopefully not hunting for cows. Somebody might not be happy. Rooster, I saw the same thing. Supposed to cool off next week in Missouri. Really wondering if I should just yank the pepper plants. Look like crap. Rest in peace, my Uncle Jank. Yep. I'd leave the pepper plants yet. I mean, They probably, at this point of year, they've probably got a decent enough root system that they might be able to recover. So, I mean, as long as it's not 100 degrees and, get them some water and stuff. But if you can get them a good drink of water, they'll bounce. They should bounce back real quick. Peppers do like water. Let's see. ARLR, how do I keep my rain barrel from collecting funk? I'm assuming you're probably talking about bugs and everything like that. Need to have it, absolutely need to have a screen over the top where your gutter's running into it or whatever, a very fine mesh screen to keep any of the bugs out of it. As for, I mean, obviously a fine mesh screen is also going to keep out any leaves or pine needles or anything like that. It's going to find in there. The only other thing you worry about is any sort of moss or mold or anything like that growing in there. That's going to be a little hard to do. Obviously, if you're going to use the water for drinking, you're going to run it through a purifier. If you're going to use it for watering a garden or something like that, then, it doesn't matter. But yeah, absolutely a screen over whatever opening that you have in that barrel to keep all the crap out of it. How much will the beef waste be? Final price per pound. By the time we get it butchered and everything's fine, we get it butchered and it's $3 a pound. When I get it wrapped and in package and everything like that, and it's weighed out, and it's $3 a pound. So, maybe it goes up a little bit by the end of the year, but I mean, we just talked to the guy last week and he said $3 a pound. So, Farmer Bill's Garden, what do you use to control squash bugs? Sevin, either Sevin Dust or Sevin Liquid. Spray that stuff on your plants. It says it'll last up to 90 days. I find maybe it's good for about a month. But yeah, Sevin, use that. Doesn't harm your vegetables whatsoever. You can spray it on fruit trees, your lawn, vegetables, whatever it is. But very good for flea beetles, squash beetles, stink bugs, anything like that. Okay. Act test, last test. Get to know your local Amish butcher. I've been dealing with my guy for 27 years. Yeah, if you're around an Amish community, absolutely. HJS video. I buy London broil, round, or sirloin and grind it myself. It tastes so much better. That's what Mrs. P does too, unless of course we're getting the half cow. Then of course, we get it already ground because they're just grinding whatever is not good enough to cut into steaks or roasts or whatever. But yeah, a lot of times when we go to the store, if we've got to buy beef, look, and sometimes the roasts will be on sale. It'll be cheaper to get the roast than it is to get ground beef. It's like, okay, fine. Bring it home. She runs it through a meat grinder and poof, we got ground beef if we want burgers or meatloaf or whatever. Rachel Sue, I was blessed to find organic ground beef for $2 to $3 a pound. That's a great price. I mean, if you get it for under £3 right now, you're doing anything good. Brian Keith, aka Prepper B, you see in the news, airplane flights are grounded worldwide for a computer glitch. Airplane flight, okay, I heard about Southwest. I haven't heard about airplane flights worldwide. Where'd that come from? I can look real quick and see if I see anything. Yeah, just looking at a couple of news services I've got just up on the computer, and I don't see anything about worldwide. So, okay. But yeah, if you got a link to something like that, please send it to me. I'd love to check it out. Back to where we are. Let's see. Pamela Fury, just wondered if you saw Italy's tomato crop may not be canned due to steel can shortage. Yeah, that's going to be real interesting because figure Italy, tomato sauce, tomato paste, everything like that. Uh, it's going to be, and they're talking about this no cans. Now, my guess is you'll start seeing a lot of stuff jarred, mason jars. But again, if that does happen, expect what we saw last year, a massive run on mason jars. So again, guys, if you see the jars, get them while you can, because if something like this is a problem, if Italy's going to, I'm speculating, but if Italy all of a sudden decides to buy, millions upon millions of mason jars, guess who ain't getting them? Because Ball or Kerr or whatever's going, oh, you want an order for 10 million mason jars? Sure, we'll send all those to you rather than send them to Walmart. It's a lot easier for them. So, just word to the wise, think about this when you see a problem. What would be the most obvious solution? That's what it was. And then how does the solution affect you? Rooster says Trump going on tour with Bill O'Reilly. That would be interesting, though. The fun part is, with Bill O'Reilly no longer with Fox, that kind of leaves, Hannity and that whole gang out of it there too. Oh yeah, is Catherine Guilfoyle still dating Don Jr., or did she kind of run away once Daddy lost the election? Because that's always been her MO. It's like, I'll use you for what I can and until you're useless. So, Sandy M, growing San Marzano tomato plant. Hopefully I get a good crop. I've got 4 or 5 different tomatoes. San Marzano's not one of them. So, but yeah, my tomatoes are doing good. I mean, most of them are about 5 feet high right now. They're almost at the top of those cages I built. And then those cherry tomatoes that you guys were sent to me, those plants are over 6 now, so they're almost as tall as me. And all of them have tomatoes on them. Akila, thank you for the super chat there. Growing mushrooms. No, I love mushrooms. Don't get me wrong. I've never really looked into. I've watched some videos on how people do it, and I just don't trust myself on doing it. Let's put it that way. My luck is I'd wind up eating poisonous mushrooms and be dead. North Shore, say a nice hello to Mrs. Pinball, everyone. I think she just went upstairs. So, Jamie R, I'm canning meat as fast as I can get it. Ground turkey, chicken, brats, you name it. If the grid goes down, which it will, all freezer food will be lost. Yes, depending on how much you got in the freezer. Okay, because the freezer is going to be good for a couple of days. Now, if the grid went down and we all knew it, you can pretty much bet that the first thing everybody's doing is taking stuff out of their freezer and starting to can it quickly. So there's the other reason to make sure you have plenty of cans laying around. It's like, I've got 2 cases of cans and I'm just waiting for my carrots and my beans to come up. And then the power goes out and now you go, okay, screw my carrots and beans. I need all my, my pork chops and pot roasts canned up. So things to do there. Let's see. Kelly O'Connell, Mrs. P, more recipe videos, please. We'll get there. I promise, guys. It's like I told you. It's just everything's just. It's summertime. It's busy, and I mean, there's not a whole lot of massive amount of cooking. Though I do want her to make the okroshka for you guys one time, because that's a great summer soup, and it's absolutely delicious. So if I can get her to make that sometime, because I want some of that. Maybe we'll show you that one, because that's a soup I guarantee nobody's ever had unless you're Russian, and it's delicious. It's a cold soup, so it's a good summer soup. Let's see. Mrs. P make a great first lady. Well, she's gonna have to marry somebody else, because I ain't going in there. I'm not going near politics. Thank you. Oops, there we go. Shot to the bottom again. Okay. Bruce here, how many kilowatts on the generator? If I remember correctly, it's 4,500 starting. North Shore, Annie smuggled pea meal bacon down to metal. God. Uh, John Fraioli, how much land can I buy down there for like 10 grand? Uh, Again, it's all gonna be location. I mean, I bought the acre next to me for 9, so that'll tell you that. But I know there's a guy up top of the mountain who's selling 5 acres for 50K, so that's 10 an acre. Uh, yeah, I'd say in the immediate area around me, for what I know, if you look, you're gonna find an acre or better for about 10 grand. Not much more than an acre, though. Jennifer, thank you for the super chat there. The plane's making a grid over your city and the trails are just spreading. You can plainly see the grid taking over the sky. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I did the video a couple of weeks ago on chemtrails. That makes sense, but again, you got to remember, planes fly, flight patterns are east to west and north to south. They don't, you're not getting a whole lot of these angle flights and stuff like that. So if you're seeing a lot of planes, depending on where you are, if I saw a grid pattern over me, yeah, I definitely say it was, okay? Because there just aren't that many planes that fly overhead. I'll see a couple a day. I'm not in a flight path. So if I saw 8 planes or whatever go by in an hour or whatever, then I'm going to think it's something. But again, there's people on both sides of the fence. The verdict is still out with me, whether chemtrails and everything like that. And I know some of you are going to say I'm not seeing it your way. Others going to say I'm not seeing it this way. I respect both sides' opinions. I don't have one. Yep, that's me. I have 4 teenage boys. We consume a whole cow in less than a year. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, the two of us go through about a half. So, Rip Curl. Last time I got a half a cow, I paid $2.50 to $3 a pound. It's a way to go. Build relationships. Yep, absolutely. Cheese. Okay, Deb says cheesecloth is good over rain barrels. Yes, I will agree there. The problem is I want something stiffer, because cheesecloth, any weight on it, it'll start to sag. But no, certainly works. Johnny Finance, what are the best orgs or charities to join or donate to for our vets and their families? I like the Gary Sinise Foundation. That is pretty much my favorite one. There's plenty of other ones, but Gary Sinise, 100% of the money goes to vets through Gary Sinise, and that's what I appreciate. Our own drumbeat. I sent an email about Costco meat costs in the Seattle area. Yeah, everything, meat costs are just crazy everywhere. So, it's why we're to the point of only buying stuff on sale. And, like I said, fortunately for us, I don't have to worry about beef, but I'm watching even pork and chicken costs keep going up. Sorry, thirsty. Derek Gardner. Father drank rain barrel water for over 20 years, still healthy, just adds bleach to the barrel water. Yeah, a few drops of bleach and you're purifying it. So just one of the many ways to purify water. Rib curls. Is there a way to recover plants that might have root rot? No, if they got root rot, they're toast. Get rid of them. Don't compost them. Don't do nothing. You don't want to bring that into your garden at all. Usually that's some sort of fungus that's got in there. Bruce, the Fauci mask should work for the water barrel. Yeah, I'd be even happier if I could put Fauci in the water barrel first and just leave him there. Head down, of course. Jennifer Skinner, does 7 harm bees? Not as far as I know. I use it in my garden, and I've got bees pollinating in my garden all over the place. So, not a big deal there. I use the spray though. I don't use the powder. Let's see. Any idea what bugs are? What bugs are eating my peppers? Not. If you look at them, see, and again, this could be. Yeah, that's. I don't know where you are. I mean, that could be a big difference. I mean, I'd say if it was down here near me, I'd say it's probably flea beetles. But I'd have to know what they look like, where you live, and then still it's a guess. Yeah, yarn prepper. I use rain barrels for the garden, but would not have a problem boiling and using for cleaning. Absolutely. 7 powder liquid in a sprayer. Kenneth Oliver agreeing with me on that one. Yeah, I mean, I've never found anything that works better than 7. I mean, that was stuff that my mother used, my grandfather used. So, at least in my family, it's 3 generations if it's been working. Okay, Brian Keith talking about Southwest. All right, yep, yeah, not international. It was just them. Robert Winslow went from red wine to beer. There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, I can make both of them. So there you go. Learn how to make both of them. The beer's better, and the wine's a hell of a lot cheaper. Though the beer I make, I guess I could make non-alcoholic beer, but if I'm gonna have a real beer, then I save the good stuff for the real beer. Anthony Parrish, Dr. Burks arrested by the military. I see yes and no on an internet search. God. Okay. Source, and if it's QAnon, then no. Okay. My guess right now would be no, just because it sounds too silly. She hasn't been in the news in 4 months. Why all of a sudden would, if they arrested Fauci, I'd go look into it. But Birx, we haven't heard anything about it, about her in months. Gabriel H., good idea to start veggies in old egg cartons late winter to get the ground to get running in spring. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I start my planting. I did some of my planting this year. 1st of February for my area is when I start planting my seeds. And if you're going to start them in egg cartons and things like that, that's fine. Just be prepared. If you start them in egg cartons, you're going to need to move them up to solo cups because they're going to be too big. They'll die in that little amount of dirt. You're going to need to move them up before it's time to plant them outside. Let's see. Patriot Sandwich Maker, good point. Please do not drink rainwater collected off a shingled roof. Chemicals from the shingles leach into the water, and the water is not safe to drink. Fine for plants or flushing. Yes, because again, remember what shingles are made of. They're asphalt. So you're literally putting oil into asphalt's made from oil. So unless you're going to drink oil in your water, which you don't want to, don't use. If you got a metal roof, that's the way to go. Kevin Gaston, just did my first water bath canning yesterday, made pickles from my garden. Yes, I'm so excited for a lot of my stuff to grow so I can make giardiniera. The only thing I don't have going yet is cauliflower heads, and that's going to suck. But if all I got to buy is cauliflower and I've got everything else, I'm happy. But yeah, it's pickling that stuff. It's like, oh my God, used Keurig cups make great seed starters. Make sure to. Okay. Toka Bigger Heil, no idea what that is. But yes, Keurig cups makes good seed starters. Yes, they do. But again, you're going to have to up cup them. Jen Boyles, I have 24 tomato plants to can, hopefully. I've got about 60. Yeah, I'm hoping for tons of canned tomatoes. So, Amy Jo Arsenault, I'm growing oyster mushrooms and forage for them as well. And again, this is me. I mean, my grandfather, Czech background. I mean, Czechs forage for mushrooms like crazy. And my grandfather would go out foraging for mushrooms and always had mushrooms in the house. Me, I've seen too many videos where it's like, oh, this one's good and this one isn't. And I'm looking at them going, they look exactly the freaking same to me. So I just don't trust myself with it. Joanne 60823, can you purify shingle roof rainwater with a Berkey filter system to make it drinkable? Again, some people say you can. I mean, in a pinch, okay, if we were to the point where that was the only water source I had, yeah, I'd be doing it, okay? If I've got any other water source, I mean, like right now, no, I would not, okay? But I mean, if it was, SHTF and that was the only water source I had, yeah, I'd be drinking it. We the people prepping. Grow those mushrooms in cow manure, though. Be magical. No, yeah. And if you're in, I think it's Oregon, that wonderful state we got over there. I think they made those legal, right? Michael S. Borscht recipe. Go back onto the main page of the channel. Look at the playlists. Cooking with Mrs. Pinball. It was the very first video she did. There's a whole video of her making it from beginning to end. So it's right there. Recipe and all. Hang on, we shot up down to the bottom again, so I got to find where we are here. James Holmes, cinnamon helps with fungus on your plants. Yes, cinnamon can be good, though. Make sure you research which plants. Cinnamon's not good for every one of them. Chief Jim, is Miracle-Gro harmful in the gardens? No. What Miracle-Gro is, just please understand, it's just a heavy nitrogen fertilizer. So it'll give you a lot of green leafy growth to make the plants look real pretty. It's not going to help you with the fruiting or anything like that. You need to get something with the phosphorus to get the more tomatoes or whatever you want for it that way. But again, depending on, you need to know your vegetable and what it needs. Like I said, with the fertilizer schedule that I have that I've sent out to a whole bunch of people, some things like a lot of nitrogen, root crops or, beets, carrots, anything like that. Those, Miracle-Gro is going to do you wonderful. Tomatoes or something like that, you want something that's more high phosphorus because you don't need all the green growth. You want that air circulation. You want the fruiting. 9 Arrows Mama, 7 will harm bees. I'm not going to question you. I haven't had any problem with it. Anthony Parrish, Miracle-Gro is bad. Depends, I don't know what, you'd have to be more specific on bad. I mean, it works, but it's just high nitrogen. In Pennsylvania, okay, Jen Boyles, in Pennsylvania, no bugs visible but flea beetles, and that's what you got. If you got a bunch of little holes in all your peppers, that's flea beetles. And again, get some 7 on there, or I gave you the home remedy of taking, a couple of cloves of garlic, some Dawn dishwasher soap, and some water, and put that together and spray that. Though you're going to have to spray that very often, like every couple of days or whatever it is, to keep the beetles down to 7. Like I said last year, about a month. Oh, geez, we're actually past 9 o'clock. There we go. Okay, I'll see if I can catch up a couple more. Let's see. HB, do I anticipate major cyber attack coming? I think we're already seeing them. So, it's just, like I've said many times, I think this is practice and they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Robert Winslow, I didn't say that I didn't make either red wine or beer, my brother. There we go. Okay. Bruce here, have I ever made tomato wine? No, I have not. It doesn't even sound good. Javon Cochran, can we put the egg cartons in solo cups? Will they disintegrate? If you get the cardboard egg cartons, they will, but not quickly. Okay, probably not quick enough to make it worthwhile. don't even try it with styrofoam egg cartons. Labors. Most people put petrochemicals all over their body, chapstick, lotions. Yes, just not in their body. You know, I'm not going out and getting a bottle of Valvoline and going, yay, breakfast. Rebecca Adams, wouldn't it be okay to drink rainwater off a roof if it went through a filter? Berkey. Like I said, in a pinch, yes. Okay, I'm not going to question it. Do I want to do that for my regular drinking water every day? No. Let's see. More questions on the same thing. Same thing. You're in prep. And I got to the bottom. So it looks like I did Robert Winslow, garlic and Dawn sounds like a vampire repellent. Well, yeah, guys, they're both sucking the life out of something. So, all right, guys, we ran a little long today, but I actually got to the bottom here. So have a good Tuesday, everybody. We will see y'all in the morning. Night. Pinball out.